All right, here's the final question in our review packet, which one more time I will say looks very similar to the questions on our test for Unit 3. It says I've got a part, B part, C part, and a D part. They're looking for words, interval notation, a graph. But before all that, I got to solve it. So first it says solve the inequality. Notice this is a compound inequality. I've got 6 is less than or equal to 6x minus 12, which is then less than 42. Let's start by coming to the paper over here and rewriting that and then solving it, right? So we've got 6 less than or equal to 6x minus 12 less than 42. We've got 6 less than or equal to 6x minus 42 less than, no, minus 12 less than 42. Minus 12 less than 42. All right, well, I've got 3 parts to this inequality. I've got to make sure I break this down into that left section over there, this middle section over here, and that right section over there. And when I do my inverses, I just do it to each section. That's the only new thing about this 3-part thing over here. I'm trying to get x alone and keep it in the middle between the two. And so I'll do that by, I see 6x minus 12. I'm going to go ahead and say plus 12 here, plus 12 there, and plus 12 there to every single part of my inequality. That's separated by the inequality signs. 6 plus 12 gets me 18. Let's put a line over there. 6 plus 12 is 18. Didn't multiply or divide by a negative, so it's still less than or equal to 6x here. That gets canceled, 6x. 42 plus 12 is going to be 54. And this is still that same inequality. And next I just got to divide that 6 away. And if I divide the 6 here, I should divide the 6 there and divide the 6 over there as well. 18 over 6 gets me 3. This is dividing by a positive, so I keep that sign. 3 is less than or equal to. Those 6's cancel to get me x. And then less than 54 over 6 is going to be 9, because 60 divided by 6 would be 10. There is my inequality. And so if I could draw on the paper here, I should have 3 is less than or equal to x, less than 9. Express the solution set in words as part B. It doesn't ask for a scenario, so I can literally just write this out as 3 is less than or equal to x, which is less than 9, less than 9. That's a good enough explanation in words. 3 is less than or equal to x, which is less than 9. Maybe I should have typed that one out. Solution set in interval notation. Well, once you've got these compound inequalities, it's kind of nice and easy because this 3 is my lower bound. This 9 is my upper bound. So I can just say, all right, well, interval notation is going to be 3. And then 9, and I just got to say this less than or equal to. That tells me that it should be a square bracket. I should include that part. And then this just plain old less than means that I should have a parentheses over here. That is my interval notation. And then finally at the very bottom, they ask me to graph it on this graph over here. I'll just draw a graph on my paper. Draw that graph over there. The only numbers that are really going to matter on this graph are going to be 3 maybe somewhere over here, and 9 somewhere over here. And then all I got to do is say, well, it's a bracket on the 3. It's less than or equal to 3. So I'm going to color in my circle on my 3 as my lower bound. Parentheses on the 9, just a plain old less than on the 9, should be an open circle. And any time you've got this compound inequality where it's number, inequality, variable, inequality, number, without an or between them, I should always just color in between here. Similarly, this interval notation says my lower bound is 3. I'm allowed to be 3. My upper bound is 9. I'm not allowed to be 9, so it's an open circle. And I'm allowed to be any number between the two, so I should color in everything in between the two. That is what our graph should look like, more or less. And that is the end of the review for Unit 3. If you have any other questions, we don't have too much time left. Go back and review them, make it to callback. Good luck.